We're starting early. We're doing it live.
Going live. Sorry.
I don't even know if we're on yet. Are we on yet?
We are.
It looks like we are.
I know. I think they even caught you saying we're starting early.
We're starting early.
It's exciting.
I'll take it.
Woohoo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Plausible Deniability. My name is Johnny Payne.
I'm Brooke Bullock.
Brooke, I've got to say, I survived the entire day without being found guilty on a single count. How about you?
Same. It's almost like if you don't screw up your life, I mean, which I have done some, but not to the point of going to prison.
Right?
If you don't screw up your life, then you don't have to go in front of the judge.
You just have to make lady friends of the night who know how to keep secrets better. Isn't that what this all comes down to?
Or, hear me out, or don't make lady friends with the night that you have to pay. I'm just saying.
There is no Michael Cross tonight, ladies and gentlemen, which is why
We are unhinged, and welcome to the last show of Plausible Deniability before we're canceled. Woo!
Yes, I'm going to drop an F-bomb in a minute, but I'm going to wait for that 3-minute YouTube rule.
And we're going to find out if it's true?
You can't drop F-bombs in the first 3 minutes.
Really?
It's well, if we were monetized and you did, you'd instantly lose your monetization.
Way.
Yeah, it's crazy. What's
there
happening?
There's also a big fear out there in YouTube land of saying, they refer to it as the C word, and then I found out it was COVID, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, see, you just got us in trouble. That's I will accidentally call it the coof, because a lot of YouTubers I watched, they would call it that. Like, even just like, you know, hey, I'm working from home now, so I had a chance to jump in here and make this video real fast because of the coof. And I'm like, what are they saying? What the heck? And then I realized another YouTuber talked about it, and it was like, oh, if they say the word COVID during the lockdown, they were getting in trouble because so many people were doing the conspiracy videos, you know, and all that stuff. The jab had people in it. The vaccine was called the jab, and the vaccine had people in it that would live inside your body. It's the same people that live in your refrigerator that when you shut the door, they run out and turn the light off real fast.
Wait, so do I have to like wrap my arms in tinfoil or just the head? Because this is tinfoil lined. I mean, you know.
Well, I would say just the head, but that's what the government wants you to think. So it's do your research.
Very good. Hey, coming up here in just a little bit, we've got another C word, covers.
Oh. Nice cover on that C word.
That's right. Woohoo!
Okay, what is this doing to me? I don't want this browser open anymore.
I
can't harass the chat.
That's what she said. And now we got an echo, but that's all right. I don't think it's me. All right.
Wait, does someone say we have an echo?
No. I heard one just now. But I live in the future compared to the folks on the internet, so you never know.
On the internet.
Woohoo! I'm laughing at Hal, who said you should have gone for the head. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And good to see you, Rebels and Falcor. Woo!
Oh. Why do I have to search for stuff on the internet all the time?
I don't know. They put knowledge at our fingertips. Then we get addicted to it. Then we like it. It's all kinds of fun stuff.
If Michael were here, I feel like y'all need to, you said that we were bringing sports into the show. Why do I have to search for stuff on the internet all the time? Oh, that's me. That's not me anymore. Yes. Sports. Go for it. I'll be back.
Sports. I stopped paying attention when the Thunder got knocked out of the playoffs. However, we have a chance for 2, actually maybe 3, count them 3, baseball/softball type teams that you can transfer your sports passion to. We got the Sooners, the Lady Sooners, and then we have the Guy Sooners, and we have the OSU Cowgirls. And the Cowboys may or may not be in it. I'm not sure. But
I haven't paid much attention, but I remember there was a time when, Our Lady softballers were national treasure, and it was a big deal. Yeah.
There's a little bit of scuttlebutt. I honestly don't think it'll happen, but there's a little bit of scuttlebutt that it could be 2 Oklahoma teams coming down to the finals with, as well as apparently the Cowgirls are playing. So once again, Michael Cross, KOSU, we're out of him today. He would tell us because he would know, but
Michael Cross is currently at Buckets of Blood Saloon. Yeah, he sent a
and you
picture.
think we're making that up.
He sent a picture in our Discord of their sign, Buckets of Blood Saloon, world. What did it say? No, world famous or
World famous bug. All I know is that's a fantastic place for Zionci. Zionci would be like, a whole bucket of blood. Wow. You know, so Zionci would be ready for that. So, and that
somewhere
would be fun.
All right. And Andrew is an echo. Okay.
Seems rude, but I'll go with it.
Right.
Mark would know. Hey, speaking of.
Yes.
No, wait. Maybe this is one of those things that I'm not supposed to talk about. You know, Brooke's known for that.
Tell me and I'll let you know if you can say it.
I'm not supposed to talk about T-shirts, and I'm not supposed to talk about the warehouse. I think those are the things I'm not supposed to talk about, so I probably won't.
And Fight Club.
Oh, right.
Right. So,
wait.
Yeah, I don't know much about the secrets of the warehouse. The secrets of the T-shirt. Yeah, don't talk about that yet. We can't.
Yeah. I don't think we can talk about that.
You did the thumbs, and then there were.
I did the thumbs up. Got the graffiti. Got the fireworks for keeping my promise. I didn't say anything, Connor. Yay!
I didn't say anything, but the T-shirts are going on sale tomorrow. Yay! No, there's no T-shirts going on sale tomorrow. But
if you missed your T-shirt sale, though, man, you missed it. I now have one of the Patreon Campaign 2 T-shirts with all the characters in the bar. I even got a coffee mug of that. It's sweet.
I've got an exclusive T-shirt.
You do?
That I got for Christmas.
Because someone loves you, Santa. Baby.
That's not her name. But yes.
Mrs. Claus got that for you?
Yes. Mrs. Obnoxious person on the internet. Because that's me right now. I'm an obnoxious person on the internet. She's sitting. She can hear me.
It's always dangerous.
Live.
Oh, Ruffle says, go ahead, Brooke. Woo!
Oh, do it.
I got to see a snapshot 10 minutes of the very first warehouse show coming up, which of course where they're going to play different games and do different things. And the format is great. As we do our ADHD thing where we talk about things and say something and blah, blah, blah. They have, I don't want to give it too much away, but they have some graphics that happen when they do things like that. And it's super fun. Like, I'm a listener, not a watcher on like YouTube and podcasts and things like that. But gosh darn it, if Mark Coffrin and the warehouse guys are not going to make me pull my phone out and watch.
You explain things the way Doctor Who explains things. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It dings when there's stuff. There's these
It'll all make sense whenever you see it.
Things go off.
And I would not be surprised at all if somewhere during the warehouse, at some point in a coming season, they get to say dinosaurs on a spaceship. It'll be great.
There is a Doctor Who RPG.
Woo!
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I've been looking forward to it. Oh no, that was a whole... what? Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I was just teasing with the Mark.
Sweet tea. Maybe I should switch to sugar-free. I don't know.
By the way, nice jug.
Nice jug. Thanks. I don't have a set, but
Is that the size of Kansas? That thing looks humongous.
This is a gift also from my beautiful wife,
Ooh,
who's watching me live right now while she paints.
that's awesome.
While she does her artiste stuff, like that.
She has shared a couple of those, and they are very good. Yes.
Yeah, in the porthole, the ocean. Yeah,
Also very nice.
the aurora borealis.
Yep. The one right there, that's the lightning bolt in the sea, right?
In the mountains.
In the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. Awesome. Ruffle says the warehouse will be short content, 15 minutes. I love it. It was great.
Great.
So
short content, 15 minutes.
I look forward to it coming out. And Mysteries of it, not to turn this into a commercial, but Mystery of Vatrix restarted. If you didn't catch hardly anything, watch their recap show from last week. It's really good. Their recap show is really good. And then they just dropped the new one for right now at this moment, yesterday on Wednesday. So, woohoo!
Fantastic. Are they, so if I remember, this is some behind the scenes of the network stuff. A long time ago, it was said that Mystery of Vatrix was going to be a tale that was told, and then the second part was going to be told again from a different perspective.
Yeah, like in a different part of the world, and part 2 has started with new characters.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
And ultimately, these branches, if I remember right, there are 4 seasons in the world that Andrew has created, and kind of each one will have a story, and they'll come together for the epic climactic, portal opening, Avengers Assemble finale. It's not exactly like that, but it's going to be cool.
It's just like that.
Just like that.
Because
everything old is new again.
My chat is behind a lot. I just now see him saying the warehouse will be 15 minutes.
Oh, very good. Are you house? Nope. You're not doing that. So, judging from what I know of various rooms in which the witness protection program has moved Johnny Payne, it does not appear that you are in the farmhouse. So.
Oh, no. I don't like the ranch?
Yeah.
Is that in the chat, Brooke?
No, not at all. It's just me making connections of you being out in the
ranch episode coming up.
Haha.
At some point soon-ish.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks. It might be right before. Who knows?
Very cool.
Around that time we got SoonerCon?
Yeah.
Brooke, are you prepared at all to show these pictures off before I start talking about it?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. We got new art for the DM's guide for this new release of books. It's so hard to not say new edition.
I know.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I know. It's going to get argued. I understand. I know. I think if it was pouring down rain and Wizards of the Coast said it wasn't raining, people would say it's not raining. But they did go live and said, we are coming out with a new edition. And the internet kind of went, what? And they went, no, it's not a new edition. What we meant was, and then reworded it,
It's a new set of rules, fully backwards compatible with the old set of rules.
But it's not a new set of rules. It's the same rules.
Same rules.
They're different, but they're exactly the same. Yeah, it's so weird. And in recent news of the whole thing with D&D Beyond, where it's like, oh no, they're being so money hungry and cancel the a la carte thing. I'm not going to give I don't like this because it's just money. It's also very exciting that they're going to put out a book full of the same stuff that I already own. I'm confused about what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to take a poll somewhere and ask.
Here's a really interesting question that's not on our topic list tonight. If in say 3 months we realize it's not Lorraine Williams, then what's going on? You know, like I'm just saying.
Right.
We've many people have, thrown tomatoes, and maybe rightfully so. But what happens if 3 months from now and we're like, wait a minute, things are not better?
Cynthia Williams.
Oh, sorry, Lorraine Williams was from 1990. Sorry about that.
Right.
She was the one in the
yeah. Can I
yeah
show it? Can I show
yeah.
it to everybody?
No, I don't like it.
Let me show. She painted a really cool thing. I want to show everybody. I like it. Show me again.
No, don't take it.
Without my glasses. I'm not going to take it. I like it.
There is a guy right
Sorry.
there who is being super protective. He's not even going to let the reflection for all of us who would now hit pause and zoom in. No surprises from the artist.
Yes,
Woo.
Cynthia Williams. No, I don't know how much of an impact any of this new edition she had, on it. But it is what it is. I'm hesitant because if it's just basically the same, and Michael Cross's argument is the state that 5e is played in now is a conglomeration of, is it the right word, English teacher? Of like the book at launch, but the 11th edition reprint of it, of course, but also some of this Tasha's stuff that changed a few things, some of this Xanathar stuff that changed a few things, and now it's just in one book. And so I'm like, well, the benefit of that is I bring one book instead of three.
Also true.
Do I want to buy another book that has the same content that I'm using out of the three? I guess it'd be nice to have them all condensed to not get confused, because I didn't go through my old book with a highlighter to say, Tasha's changed this is now this way, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, back in the day when when they would release errata, and if I could get to the public library to print it, then I would take it and tape it into the book, right?
Right. Yeah, no kidding. I have 2 DMGs and a couple of players' handbook. I think I have 2 monster manuals also. Yeah, so one more. I mean, I would let someone borrow it and then forget where it is and just buy another one while I'm at the store. It was no kind of biggie. There was whatever they do with it, it's fine. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes out. It's going to be interesting to look back 2 years later and see if it's as recognizable as it was a few years ago. If it is truly just the same thing, just in a better book format. But I got to thinking about like over the big changes that D&D's gone through from second edition to third to fourth to fifth. I got stuck on something with fourth edition, Brooke. Did you play it?
I have to admit that I have never played.
That's
I have
fine. A lot of
never
people
played
skipped it. Yeah. Fourth edition is what made 3.5 and then Pathfinder really explode. There was
100%.
One of the big. So there were two or three major gripes about fourth edition, and one was that it was too tactical, and everything had to have a target. You couldn't just go, "Hey, watch this," and fire off a little cantrip of sparks to like entertain the kids at the market. You had to have a target focused on it, and it was tactical in that anything that hit a creature moved the creature around. The other was that the spells were broken down into daily, encounter, and at will. And it was your daily spell was one spell you could cast that day and you couldn't cast it again. Encounter spells were, you had a pretty good chunk of them. And then at will spells were just spells you could cast at any time that never ran out. People hated that. And I'm like, so you have a spell that you have an ability that you can't use until after a long rest. And you have a bunch of spells that are cantrips. What was the problem with 4th edition spell system? They just use different words for cantrips and can't use again till long rest. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have to revisit 4th edition someday as a one shot. I think it'll be fun.
That would actually, am I going to say that might actually be fun as part of Johnny Payne's 50th anniversary celebration? So
I think it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah. Because Michael didn't play 4th edition either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely we need you guys in there.
You've got a second edition tinkering around in your head. A second edition
I
one shot, right?
do got a second edition one shot tinkering around in my head. I kind of want to do it an order thing. I want to do it 2. I'll probably just skip over 3 because so many people play it.
Right, right.
Most people don't know what the experience of 2. Yeah, do a 2 and then do a 4 and then maybe even end it with going back to an old box edition, some kind of crazy
What's
OD&D.
your what are you gonna play? I'm gonna be a halfling. No,
Right.
but what are you gonna be? A halfling. You can be a fighter, a magic user, a thief, a halfling, or an elf.
It would be fun to
Or a dwarf.
see a live stream of just character creation from first edition, where
Oh
literally
man.
everyone rolls their stats, everyone rolls strength, everyone rolls dex, and then when it's done, everyone has to look at the chart and see if it ends with like everyone is either a rogue or a fighter. That's it. We have a party of 6 people, and they're either rogues or fighters because no one rolled high enough intelligence or wisdom.
We exactly right. We had a couple of polls in the Discord about that, and those were fun. A lot of people engaged with those,
Yeah.
and so those were tons of fun. Now, then, of course, if you do first edition, you have to do it the only way that I know to rattle them off still today is strength, intelligence, dex, constitution, wisdom, charisma. Right? I mean,
Yep.
you got to do them in that
Yeah,
order
roll that
instead
order.
of
Like this is your strength roll.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I do admit that the third edition onward order does make more sense, where you have all the physical traits and then all the mental traits, right? You know that makes more sense to group them together like that. But
Uh, so yeah, going off on this tangent of the good old days. Um, let's see
well,
those
let's
book covers.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
start.
So a
Let's
piece of
start
art you
with
didn't
the
show us last
Grognard moment.
episode when we were talking about the player's guide. We didn't see a piece of art for the. I don't know if you did show it. The inside art of the cartoon characters in that temple. Um,
No.
yeah, it was a really great. I don't know if you have you seen it. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
I did
It
not.
was really
I
nice
don't have
seeing
that
them
pulled up ready to go though, but
in the in current day art style, on paper, and even there was the bas relief of Uni on the wall. Instead of just having a baby unicorn there, it was really neat. But the cover has 3 evil celebrities on it.
yes, let me jump. Well, I'll go ahead and share screen real quick,
Hmm.
and we'll do a quick flyby. So let me see if I click go live, if that does it for us. I think it does. Woo! So that is our first edition wraparound cover, and then of course the first edition orange spine, then second edition, third, which might be kind of boring. The fourth edition cover, which is really a fantastic cover. We
Yeah.
talked about these last week a little bit. And then a couple of fifth edition, setups there. And now they have just released a 5.5. Woohoo. And I think a lot of people were surprised to see this guy at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
agree. It was interesting that one of the first thing I saw was like they're all villains on a
yeah.
DM guide. Is that playing too much into the player versus DM trope? But
I mean, that's who you are
yeah.
but you know what I'm saying as a grain of salt like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You are the helpful NPCs as well, but the DM is the antagonist. Now, you don't have to be an antagonist. I very much am a DM that roots for the players. Like I love it when they crush my monsters.
Now, if you
Uh
leave this image here like it is, scroll back up there. So right there, um, I saw that it was by the same artist who did the other one, but I'm convinced that this is AI because
ah,
you know how when you have AI draw people and there's like 6 fingers or something. Well, that
yes.
tiefling chick in the back only has 1 horn. So it's got to be AI. That was the joke I was going to bounce off of you pre-show.
Did you share that with me? I think you shared it with me, the YouTube clip about Robot Chicken and Where's the Horn?
No, it wasn't me.
All right. So for all of our Discord folks, for all of our patrons, check out the Discord later. I will share that YouTube video from Robot Chicken, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I do love this. Someone did a real great crystal clear zoom in on Vinger, and and I think it was the artist did, and he said, which by the way, it's not AI. It was a joke because he has one horn. So it showed a picture of Vinger from the cartoon and then Vinger today, and he talked about how he updated it and everything. And bravo! I mean, great job. I think it was a great update. It didn't. I don't think it did anything. It took anything away from Vinger. It didn't. You know, a lot of art today will like weaken the oomph that a character had, and no, I think it's 110% here on this cover. Yeah, and even the weirdness of his face,
right?
But it goes along and with the weirdness of his teeth in the cartoons, you know.
Yes.
But no, I think it's a great job. Yeah.
Yeah, that zoom in, the zoom in photo. I think I saw it on Twitter or X or whatever. But that zoom in photo from the author, from the artist, you can see that you've got the little mouth, but then there are these edges that come here that kind of give me the impression that he might be one of those type of villains that goes, rah, you know, that has like a gigantic maw. Because there's definitely lines that come on out past that little tiny mouth, full of little tiny sharp fangs. So
back when Disney cartoons, back when Disney animation had villains in it, there was talk of how the villains always you knew who the bad guy was by how long their mouth was. Like Jafar and Scar, and they all had this like really long, wide mouth when So yeah, if you had a huge mouth, you were probably the bad guy in a Disney film. Now I think the bad guys just sing songs out of key or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know what this is doing anymore. It's insane. Who's the guy with the bat head? What?
Oh yeah. So now I know of him, but somehow I kind of missed the boat in my D&D upbringing, and I know of him, but I don't really know him. He is Warduke, a villain, but you know, the chat may know I don't know much about him, like where he showed up. He was an action figure, you know, so. But that's about all I know. Somewhere in the product line, he came out as an action figure, and he was the bad guy.
But it's very old school, going along with the theme they're doing with the 50th. Yeah, so it's really cool deal. I like on the back cover here, and I've mentioned this in our last episode. So here in the background of the front cover, we have a dragon. I don't know if it's an illusion of a dragon being summoned, a dragon slowly creeping up through the mist or something.
And it doesn't look healthy. It looks like a bone dragon or a Draco Lich or an undead dragon to me.
Yeah. It's weird because it's Vinger and it's a dragon with one head. But, you know, it's just muscle memory of...
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
You're supposed to be Tiamat. Yeah. But on the back cover, it shows that thing that I talked about in the last episode where you can see off into the distance and everywhere it goes.
Yeah.
And then you've got the giant statues of the Ood from Doctor Who. The Illithids. The Mind Flayers. If you look at that statue in the middle that you can only see the feet of, the feet are like hovering off the ground. There's a ramp going up with adventurers on the ramp, and you know where they're going, and there's a treasure chest, and it takes you there. And that's what I like, about the old art. It would have been interesting to have seen these three with that kind of a background, and not just and then now here's the color fade and the switch. That's like lost. And that's my only critique I have from it is just the modern art of D&D and a lot of RPGs is that faded, blurred, colored background with the thing up front, and not the whole scene. Yeah. But the scene's on the back cover, and that's cool.
And this very much shows me that it's the same artist, but I love this cover so much more than I like the player's handbook cover because of exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Johnny. I mean, I can see the whole scene. The characters all have a focal point of they're looking at me. The Draco Lich, Venger, Skilla, Warduke, they're all looking at me. And then back here, there's a story. Like I can see this
Mm-hmm.
story, right? We're gonna go up this the heroes are gonna go up this ramp, and presumably, I'm assuming this is not just a statue, it's a tower. Like that's an entrance underneath those feet, and they're gonna
You
dun
know,
dun dun.
here's what I see with this is it's underground, it's cavernous. There are also pillars. Those aren't just stalactites way in the distance by the one that has a sword up. I feel like those are
Yeah.
pillars. There are constructed, staircases going up. There is illuminated fungi.
Yes.
Are they in the Underdark? Mind
It's sure
flayers. I mean,
it
I
sure
know.
seems like it,
I know in
right?
modern days, mind flayers fly around in boats in the sky, but in previous time, mind flayer it was not uncommon to run into them in the Underdark, and so again another nod. But speaking of the Underdark, you got a shot of that alternate art.
Ooh, yes, I
This one
do.
makes me super
Uh,
happy. Oh my
dun
God, look
dun
at that!
dun.
Look at her.
With a with a great 50. I'm going to start on the backside just because
Do
it's
it.
the simpler one for a moment. With a great 50 logo back here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just great.
Yeah.
That logo is just awesome.
And I don't know exactly.
You
I
know,
mean, I'm sure it's not leather bound, but man, they did a really great job of making it look like it's a leather bound book.
it does look
Yeah,
like
I
it's a
like
leather bound
that
book for
dragon's
sure.
head in the 50. It's
Yes,
yeah.
100%. 100%. My video's a little bit behind my talking, but yeah, I love that. It's so cool. Um, and then on the front, um, Johnny Payne, your wife is in the room, so be careful exactly what you say about this cover. But woo!
I would sell
You,
my soul to be devoured by Loth, the queen goddess of the Drow. Hi, baby. I thought you had your head with the music. No, you could be my spider queen. No, I gotta go, guys. I'm in trouble. I can't play anymore. No, I think when I first saw it, I was like, I just it took. I didn't think anything at all. I just looked at it and was like, wait a minute, holy crap, that's Loth.
yeah,
And then I spotted her victim below, and
yes,
yeah, it just makes me so. Yeah, if I was gonna buy any of these books, it would be this one right here with this cover.
yep.
Yeah.
and and maybe it's a little too cutesy, maybe it's not like, it's a little touch of
Mm-hmm.
anime-esque or something, but I absolutely love a couple of things about it. And again, it's not my favorite style of artwork ever, but one, I love how the hair just flows off like webbing,
Yeah.
and then this, for lack of a better term, this daintiness, this itsy bitsy spiderness of her hands, of like, I'm going to wrap you up and later,
Oh, she's totally
devour
playing
your
with her food.
soul.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
it's
playing
just
with her
so
food.
great.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's
So,
great. I like it. It is the same art style. I like the consistency they have. Using the same artist across the board. I guess they've got rid of their not. They didn't get rid of them. Sorry, that was a bad term. So the artist that did the alternative covers for all the previous books, I guess
yeah.
they've now switched to this style and this type, less minimalist. Um, yeah, it's I can see where the possible cutesy is in it, but she's not drinking tea and hanging out with you know what I mean? she's
No.
she's Loth being Loth. She's doing evil drow things. And yeah, I know I said evil drow, but she's not knitting him a sweater. She's not wrapping him up because it's cold outside. She's being
Wait,
evil.
what?
I know. I know.
And here's something I just realized as we started the stream and I was looking at it. And again, hats off to the artist for as much as I didn't care for the standard player's handbook.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at this alternate cover and you look at what I call the T-Dragon alternate cover,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell they go together because the color palette is the same. You know,
do you have the T-Dragon?
I can get it for
Because
us
I want to check something. I have a theory.
momentarily.
I have a theory.
I'm going to stop sharing screen just for a quick second.
Yeah, I don't want to see your browser history.
Well, okay, fine. Now that you challenge me, here we go. So
no. I shouldn't be talking about this. I was on a work. I was on Teams today with a client. Every day this week, I've been on this Teams call with the same client, and they all tabbed the wrong way.
Oh no!
And I now know things about this person.
Oh darn!
I don't know if they wanted people to know. I think it's fine that people know, but it's just, and it's not. It's how I know. Yeah. So remember, kids. Yeah, when you're going on a Teams call, close your browsers out. Okay. My theory's not correct. So in the Loth picture, the person that she has bound up in webbing, her food she's playing with, there's a staff poking out of that webbing.
True.
But it's not either one of those staffs.
Ah,
but
darn.
The person on the left sitting down.
Yes.
In my brain, that's who is in the webbing.
Yep. I could see that.
Just because it's the same artist and the same style. Yeah, so see how that staff, see how it's smooth and it comes up with maybe some intricacies and then a round bulbous on top?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I was wondering if it was the same staff sitting here looking at it.
Yep. Although it is gray-haired there, it looks like that person's gray-haired, but you know, yeah, I think you have to say not the one.
Who knows?
So. Anyway, but you can tell they're by the same artist, and they just they're gonna fit really well together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they're gonna look really, really strong on your book cover, out on your table when you're bragging to your nerd friends about all the covers you have. You know, so
no, Brooke, you don't have to get the image up, but the standard cover for the player's guide.
Yeah.
To my understanding, that party that's on that cover is mostly famous NPCs from Strixhaven. Maybe the chat can confirm or deny that.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't see it there. Maybe, yeah. I think people have like name dropped some of them, identified them, and they were notable NPCs in Strixhaven. I know I'm like 4 hours behind the chat. I keep looking at it like someone's going to go, yes, in fact they are, but who knows? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. I believe it if you told me that's who it was. So my question
currently the chat is making up sea shanties based off of Spider Queen.
Yes,
so you know,
Loth, the sea shanty of Loth.
What do you do with a web encased hobbit? What do you do with a webbed up hobbit? What do you do with a webbed up? Anyway, so drink him in the morning.
Here's the question I have for you.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about the cow in the room. And maybe I've been that cow sometimes. Who knows? But there's division everywhere in the world. Anything from are you the kind of person that goes to the drive-thru? I'm the kind of person that goes inside and eats. There's division everywhere. So there's division in the gaming community, in the tabletop gaming community. And do you feel like, because I kind of feel like this, the player's guide is kind of leaning to one part of that division, and the DM cover art is leaning to the other? Like if you were to say youth was the dividing factor.
in really
Or
broad giant, like I'm painting with a
yeah,
roller brush now,
yeah,
like
like
kind of
old
old
school
school versus new
versus
school.
modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, the covers are different. It's like let's appeal to this crowd that said Stranger Things. I'll play D&D, and then like, but we're gonna it's the 50th anniversary, and we're gonna upset the people that's been playing for 50 years. And it's like, but wait, let's get the DM guide and make that a thing. The cartoon that was in the 80s, right? The 80s was a long time ago. It was the 1980s. Do you get that sense, or did I just put that in your head? Am I making you think that?
You know, man, I will say, well, I will say this. I will say that definitely when I look at the new covers, those aren't covers that call to me. I mean, I can look at them and go, "Okay, that's cool,"
Neither one of
right?
them.
But yeah, even the DMG,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a callback to the cartoon, which don't get me wrong, like, 12-year-old me or 14-year-old me, however old I was when the cartoons came out, you know, like there was something deep nerdage on television that was for me, like that was awesome. It was fantastic. Did we tell anybody we watched it? No, we didn't tell anybody we watched it. But you know, you use the code phrases until you found out you were safe to talk to people, right? But um, but even when I look at the new DMG cover, um, seeing Venger on there doesn't make me go, "Oh my gosh, I love it!" Right? Um,
It did me,
what?
man. It totally did me.
And that's cool.
And
That's
especially, I
awesome.
just keep calling him Deathbringer because he reminds me of Professor DM's. This is Deathbringer. Yeah.
Just for her in the chat. Yeah.
What is a Beavis? Yeah. We have the same browser
I'm sure
history.
that's I'm sure that's who he's
Yeah, I
patterned
can't
after.
wait
I'm
to
sure
see
he's
Professor
patterned
D.
after Warduke for
I can't
sure.
wait to see Professor DM's review of that book because it's just going to be a Deathbringer episode. But yeah, no, when I saw it, I totally was like, now we're talking. Now, because
Cool. That's awesome.
if you remember last time, I even got in trouble by the chat because I was like, the vibe it's giving me isn't what I know as to be D&D. It's
Yeah.
very cozy cottage core, and that's not to
Yeah.
me. Yeah, but then I saw the DMG cover, and I was like, there we go. There's D&D. This is Dungeons and Dragons, and it hit me. I was like, oh, did they just make everybody happy at once? Did they do that? Is that a thing? Yeah.
Did they put peanut butter in their chocolate and chocolate in their peanut butter?
Let's see. I'm gonna see
Johnny
if I
Payne
can
is
find
conflicted,
out.
ladies and gentlemen.
You distract the audience. I'm gonna try and figure out who's on the cover
Just
of the
distract the
new.
audience for a minute. So, yeah, I think one of the things that one of the in our Discord chat, one of the things that we talked about for character creation was art inspiration, right? And I'm this weird mix where I very much love to roll the dice and see what the dice are telling me this character is going to be. But at the same time, I played some clerics because of Elena in the Red Book D&D the Red Book basic D&D guide,
Yeah.
of her sitting there on the floor in a meditative stance, looking over at you, fully clothed. Now, of course, it was super skin tight chainmail, but fully in chainmail. Um, and man, that character inspired me to play a cleric. And guess what? It ended up being a female cleric. Um, there's some spellcaster artwork from Elmore. Man, I want to play that character, right? I want that character to be. I've got the artwork all ready to go. I just have to roll the stats for that character.
Mhm.
So when honestly, when I look at the new covers, it's just the style. And that's perfectly okay. Some people out there love it. I don't see a character that jumps out at me and goes, "Oh my gosh, I want to play that character. I want that to be the representation of the character
Mhm.
I'm playing." So,
Do you ever look
um,
at it from the
you know,
perspective of I don't want to fight that character?
um,
Like you don't want to be that character, but would you want to come across them? Would you want to be in the world with them?
Oh, now see, that's a really great
Yeah.
thing. I still have up on my screen. I still have the player's handbook up, and that knight in the blue cape,
Mhm.
in the winged helmet. Yeah, like would he would kind of be cool to
Yeah.
either have as an ally or, as you find out, that he's a lawful evil town guard or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What would
The
be what would be on the cover that would make Brooke say, "Ah,
This would be so hard to do because you would either hit a home run or everybody would hate it. I would have absolutely have loved to see a rendition of Elmore's original concept art was that red dragon and the fighter, but there was also a thief
oh,
and a
finish the whole thing
spellcaster.
out." Yeah.
I would have
The
loved,
original Red
I would
Box
have
art.
thrown money to
Yeah.
see a well done version of that.
Yeah.
I'm
Before
really
that guy's
hoping
crop.
they've gone and got my hopes up now. They've gone and got my hopes up now based on what I saw from the DMG. I'm really hoping that the monster manual has a giant on it swinging a club at people. Like, that's the old school monster manual, Monster Manual 2. Maybe it was Monster Manual 2 that had the giant in the forest. So
those characters on the standard player's guide are from Wild Beyond the Witchlight, or at least Elkhorn, the Dwarven Warrior, and Strongheart the Knight are. I'm pretty sure the others are also. I'm featured in that book as well. That's the book that had Grognard, the really sad looking clown. Wizards. But I think you know what? No, Wizards, because you made up for it with this cover, this cover of the DMG. Yeah, I like it a whole lot.
yeah. Oh, Germs in the chat. Okay, so two thoughts. One, if they're from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, that totally makes sense for why the color palette is what it is. It looks like Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It looks like that.
It's the same art style where like everything swirls and
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, the artist, I think, is being maybe not told, but he's like, we would like this, and so that's what he's delivering the contract, and like I said, seeing his DMG guide, both versions of the DMG, I'm much more impressed. And I can't, even with a ruler, I have a hard time drawing a straight line. So for me to criticize art is really ridiculous, because I can't do any of it. But the second thing from the chat, how about the original Dragonlance? How about some Dragonlance art? Oh my gosh, yes, we could go Sturm or Huma or, of course we Takius or Takissus. I suddenly got self-conscious about it, like trying to say the word statistic.
There are some statistics involved there, Brooke. Yeah, I don't know if an image of her. I don't know if she would. I don't know if she'd make it to the cover of a book in today's economy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see, the 5 heads. I'd love to see Tia Matt, Tia Bob, Tia Joe, Tia Pete. I'd love to see all 5. They all have names, people. They'll just okay. Never mind. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome. Oh, correction. S. Jones is the one who mentioned the Dragonlance series, guys. That would be, again, awesome. But I'm showing my affinity for Elmore. He is the artist that made fantasy seem real, quote unquote, to me. Like it wasn't. Those characters seemed like they were real characters, right? So anyway, I'm a
big fan of Clyde Caldwell's.
Dude, Clyde Caldwell After Dark, any day, all day.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I was going to say, judge me if you will, but you nailed it right there. Yeah.
I mean, pirates, no one draws a pirate like Clyde Caldwell. Oh my gosh. The maybe 1990 Dragonlance calendar has this fantastic. Yeah, it has that fantastic Clyde Caldwell piece of Raceland in the Abyss with with the dragon queen, and man, everything about that is just phenomenal. So I just got called grandpa
Yeah.
by Hal.
Yeah. Yeah. CS2 is
Parkinson
right chat as
also.
well. Yeah.
Oh, Parkinson's Dragon Flame on the cover of Dungeon Magazine. It might be Dungeon Magazine #1. That red dragon with the black spiky mane. He's at the doors like the Dragonland by the like the DMG second yellow spine DMG. Whoa, that dragon's right there. God, Parkinson is also fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Grog nerd.
I'm done talking about
So
D&D. Talk amongst yourselves.
never done talking about.
What's Kobold Press up to?
Woohoo! Kobold Press has and this is a couple of weeks ago now. They have released their after the OGL, they were one of the companies that said, "Hey, we're going to break away and do our own thing." And they're operating under their own flag, Black Flag, role playing, and they have released their PDF, their basic PDF of of classes and things, and it's really tight, close to D&D. You roll D6s, you get your stats that way: strength, dexterity, constitution. You have the character classes that are the classic character classes of barbarian and bard and cleric and druid and monk. They do have a merchant, which is kind of cool. Oh no, wait, strike that. A mechanist. I don't know why my brain said merchant. They have a mechanist, which is kind of their answer to the oh my gosh, all I can think of is alchemist. It's the other one, brain. Anyway, to the tinkerer. And it's really good. Like, they are doing for 5e kind of what Paizo did for 3.5. And if you want to ever in the future play D&D without playing D&D, then Kobold Press is going to give you all the options. It's going to, their Black Flag role-playing game is going to give you everything you need to keep playing the game the way you love. Of course, as our co-host is famous for saying, I don't need to buy anything else. I have everything I need right now, and that's cool. So
yeah. He's said that, and that's I mean, I've unpacked because we moved. I'm like, man, I got all these old games. I got a lot of dead games. I've got EverQuest RPG books.
oh, sweet.
Yeah. Tabletop RPG books, which some of the artists we've mentioned did some art for EverQuest, for the video game itself, not necessarily for the books, but yeah, there was there are some of the bigger conventions will have a whole dead games section where people are playing RPGs that are out of print or have been out of print for a long time, or old card games, especially card games that are based on IPs, because those will move around all the time, contract to contract. But yeah, I got a lot of unique things like that. Yeah, so the Black Flag thing, there's a system that's getting talked about a lot right now. Geez, what is it called? D20 something. Shoot, I wish I could just listen to a podcast today that was talking about it. But the point is right now is, the OGL made a lot of people say, let's make our own.
Right.
A lot of independent people, companies, and it also made people who weren't already independent game creators become independent game creators. So I think the next 6 to 12 months is going to be a make or break for the indie scene, depending on how well this whole D&D thing goes over. And I feel like overall it could be a very thin line of, is it so much the same thing that's just cleaned up and consolidated that I'm feeling like I just spent money on nothing? or is it so much of a change that I don't feel like it is what they said it would be?
Yeah.
And I'm not hoping for the worst, but with the way with the way the OGL leaked, and then they were like, "Oh no, we were just someone just wrote that down on a napkin and somehow it got out to the internet." I don't know what that is. I feel like is what happened when they're like, "Hey, we're doing a new edition." Wait, a new edition? Oh, you don't like that? No, we're not doing a new edition. We're
Oh,
doing the
no.
same.
We're just doing a whole book of errata and cleaning everything up, which, as we've talked about before, is kind of needed because some things like Tasha's and Xanathar's, man, who would choose anything from the player's handbook unless you just loved it? Choose all the options from those,
Yeah.
so. And there'll be hopefully some power balance that'll help out. Cool. Tim says the Core 20 system. Is that what you were looking at?
I don't
The
think it
Core
was called
20
Core 20. It was called D20
Okay.
something. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I've heard of D20 Lite, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's the system that does well. I've come across a lot of unique stuff lately. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about other games and indie games and how a lot of them work. And a lot of the magic system. It's almost, I don't want to build my own game, but man, if I did, it would just be a meshing of here's what I like from this one, here's what I like from this one. There's one system that's coming out soon or has recently come out where they don't use hit points. It's based on your items, and you're very limited in the items you can carry. But when you get hit, an item gets broke. So a rogue would break his lockpick. You're now a little bit useless, or not useless, but not as useful.
Right.
And then it breaks the thing. It's tools it uses to disarm traps. Oh, and eventually you're just a dude in a dungeon with nothing in your hand because everything breaks on you, and then the next time you get hit, you're down because you have nothing to defend yourself with or fight back with or anything. Like that's an interesting system. I don't know how well it'd go over in the long run, but it'd be fun for like little one shots.
Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. So it'll be a fine needle to see if they can shoot the gap of exactly what you said. Something that's close enough to what I love, but new and different enough that it seems like it's worth my while.
Yeah.
Or, as someone in the chat said several minutes ago, or you could just put your stuff free on the internet, and if your game is good, people will buy the flavor text.
Yeah, that's. Someone was complaining recently. I'm gonna name drop that Paizo's new round of their new round of books are very expensive. And comparatively, they are because everything is becoming more expensive lately.
This is true.
And people are like, I'm paying $70 for a book that has 100 less pages than their book I bought 2 years ago that had this kind of content, etc. And some Paizo employees came out and they're like, cool, you can get every single thing that's in it absolutely free of charge at this website. And we promote them and we make sure they have the info before the stores. Yeah, they're like, great. They're not being mean about it, saying, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it, but they're just like, cool, go get it for free.
Go get it for free.
They want you to play their game. They're proud of what they've done, and they want you to play their game. Yeah.
I am such a nerd that I have pre-order stuff in my Paizo shopping cart because I could get it for free, but there's flavor and fluff and world building and lore that's in the books. All I get in the other one is the mechanics, which is cool. That's all you need. But I want to know about this thing. When it says Mordenkainen's faithful hound to borrow from D&D, it doesn't. But let's use that as an example everyone would know. In the text, I just get the spell and what it does. But in the book, I get the flavor of who was Mordenkainen? Why does he have this spell about the faithful hound? And it is so nerdy, and I am here for it. Yeah. Their world guides are amazing, and I want a D&D book to do that for me. But we've run out of time. We don't get to talk about Eve of Ruin tonight, but
Bro,
You know, like
that is not nice. Do not call. Oh, I thought you were talking about how the new edition is coming out in a few months. Eve of Ruin. See what I did there? Because okay, the chat.
every time I look at the title, I
chat's
see
gonna
I.
love
I
that
see
one.
Eye of Ruin every time I
Right.
look at the title.
Vecna's ruining everything. Yeah, I got out of here. Next week, I'm going to convince Michael Cross to talk to us about Greyhawk and pick Greyhawk's version of the Sword Coast, where
Yes,
everything would be set in.
where everything would be set in. And the new book, World of Realms, which has a bunch of different places in it.
Yeah, that's third party, isn't it?
That is, yeah, which is evidently third party. So,
Yeah. All right. Come see us. We're on the internet. If you got here, you can figure out how to find us. That's my marketing pitch right there, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Payne.
I'm Brooke Bullock.
And
you guys have been the chat, and you've been awesome.
I'm sorry, but we'll see you again in 2 weeks.